Welcome back to WTOP 10 Sports. My name is Rob Finger alongside Cole Fleming, and it is the sun setting over the town of Oswego here up on the shores of Lake Ontario, and we find ourselves here at the Laker Turf for today's matchup between your Oswego State Lakers and the Marywood University Pacers. For the first time here, Cole, what do we think about something like that? A first-time matchup between these two teams.
Yeah, that's not something you see very often. You typically find the coaches like to kind of find their same preseason before SUNY matches for Oswego. But we have two teams coming in here with two different rhythms. Both started off very well this season, but Oswego on the 2-game losing streak, and Marywood is on the 2-game win streak. Yeah, and you were mentioning SUNY play as well, as this is the final game of this season before the Oswego State Lakers get into their SUNY play. That is, of course, on Saturday the 27th, they play against Oneonta down over in Oneonta as well. So this one, their final matchup before the SUNY starts up. But like you said as well, 2 losses for Oswego State, 2 wins for Marywood. I mean, is that going to affect some of the rhythm here and how these teams are going to approach this game coming in? It definitely could. We're looking at Marywood, who is feeling pretty good right now, but they're not going to push themselves too far. They still have 4 more games before their conference league starts. So we're going to see Oswego really pushing to find their groove, find their game right before they play Oneonta. And Marywood, who's kind of just trying to hold on to whatever momentum they have, maybe trying things here and there, still trying to establish what they want going into their conference play. Yeah, and you mentioned with Oswego State looking to find their game here. What is their game, do you think? Strong defense. If you look overall, they tend to not score too many goals, but a lot of the goals they've been giving up as of the last few games have been on really unforced errors, silly things, deflections. There was a free kick. You have a few weird kind of things that have been happening, and they're looking to figure that out defensively, because when they get their few goals every game, it'll really bolster their record. Yeah, and the couple games that they've been in, or that they unfortunately lost the last couple times, they've been able to get goals on the board in those games against Hamilton and St. Lawrence University. The former was a 3-1 loss versus Hamilton, and the latter a 2-1 loss versus St. Lawrence. But we will throw it a break here as the national anthems come up here on Laker Turf. You're watching WTOP 10 Sports. We'll be back after this.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts. It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No. Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Sports. My name is Rob Finger. Alongside Cole Fleming, we're back here at the Laker turf, and we're going to send it down to Nick Stetter, who's down on the sidelines, down right near the turf there. Nick, what do you have for us?
Midfielder, senior number 22, Lauren.
Good evening, everyone. I am Nick Stetter here on the sideline reporting. I want to talk about a few of the past games for the Marywood Pacers as well as the Oswego Lakers today. The Marywood Pacers had a giant 10-1 win over Goucher College earlier in the season, absolutely stomping them. And then we're going to go to their only loss of the season, 0-3 against Navy in an exhibition game. They really learned a lot from that game as they won every game from that. And if we go to Oswego really quick, their last game they played, they lost 2-1 to St. Lawrence after being up 1 early in the game. Letting up those 2 goals, they really need to settle in and keep this game moving and keep this game going and play strong. I'm Nick Stetter, back to the top.
For the playing of our national anthem.
Thank you very much, Nick. We'll send it to a quick break here as the national anthems play here at the Laker turf. We'll be back with all the action.
Get rid of all the questions.
If only we had someone who could tell us what we should and shouldn't watch.
Well, do we have a show for you?
Who are you?
What are you doing in my bed?
On Be Kind and Rewind, we will go through and review all your favorite movie franchises.
And tell you which ones you should and shouldn't watch from the perspective of normal movie fans. Well, be sure to check out Be Kind and Rewind on WTOP 10.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Sports. I'm Rob Finger alongside Cole Fleming, and we're back at the Laker turf for the matchup between your Oswego State Lakers and the Marywood University Pacers. And we had a little bit of a talk before the game, but now let's get into some of the key players. First for Oswego here. Cole, who do you think is really going to be making the biggest effort, the biggest impact on this, unprecedented game here?
I think Kayla Sustad is going to be a huge impact. 4 goals, 3 assists, been a part of 7 of the 11 goals. She's really going to be trying, again, right before SUNY, going to be trying to find her groove, trying to get another goal in, maybe an assist in as well. You're going to want to see her really moving the ball forward and really putting an effort forward on the attack. On the other side, we're going to be looking at Carly Walters. 5 goals, 1 assist, huge goal scorer. Their leading goal scorer, shoots a ton, puts up, has a game-winning goal this year, super high shooting percentage. So when she finds her chances, she typically is putting them away.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were mentioning just how good they are at scoring as well. I've taken a look at the shot on goal percentage category here on the stat sheets. Both of them over 500 for their percentages. So half the time, if they're able to get a shot on net here, they're able to find some twine. So we'll look to see Kyla Schustad and, of course, Carly Walters and see which one may make the bigger impact. Two players to watch, number 7 and number 22, respectfully, but it'll be number 26, Bryn Stiles, kicking things off for Marywood as we get the 90 minutes underway here from the Laker turf as Marywood gets it back towards their defenders. A little triangle there over towards the far side line as it gets kicked out just over near that Marywood bench by number 19, Olivia Davis, the freshman of Whitesboro, all the way down near into the box here. Dangerous opportunity, just trying to keep it out, and they score. And Marywood, in the first 30 seconds on the pitch here, has found Twine first.
It's been kind of the opposite. Oswego's been the one finding the early goal lately. Just the same thing I was talking about pregame. A defensive breakdown, a silly defensive breakdown, just kind of letting her run through, and just the easy tap in.
And that's Carolyn Walters, number 14, the senior from Springfield, down in PA, getting the first goal of the game here. And wow, that's really got to possibly mess with the heads of the Lakers here as they get it kicked all the way towards the Marywood end by number 12, Amber McDermott here. As we send it over towards the near sideline, it goes out. It'll be an Oswego throw-in, courtesy of Shay O'Rourke. They play it near this sideline, but Marywood's able to steal it away. Here they come the other way. Number 8, Madison Diaz, of course. But here comes Oswego the other way, able to get it back before it reached midfield. But just a back and forth game as it starts here. Number 26, Erica Yancey, booting it now. But the Pacers able to steal it away, getting it right near that midline. Over towards the side. Running for it, though, is Kyla Schustad. So she wants to get back on that board herself as the first minute and about 20 seconds has elapsed here at the Laker turf of a long 90-minute game.
Looking at that ball, just sailing a little bit too far. They had numbers, but got to settle that back a little bit and then attack with the numbers. I'm curious to see how Oswego settles back in. A goal like that can be super rattling really early, and there's so much game left. You just don't want to let this get away early because you panicked. You just want to slow things back down and just go right back to the game plan that you had.
Yeah, because, especially with a goal that early, you've almost got the entire 90 minutes to either bring it back somehow or just to get back in your own way or even extend. But here comes number 31, Luna Catano, getting in quick, but that'll be Jenna Orr, the goalkeeper for the Pacers, picking it up. A local, believe it or not, from Camillus, a graduate of West Jenny High School, played for the West Jenny Wildcats of right here in Section 3. And she'll give that one a huge boot past the midline. And Oswego will look to play it in their own end.
Goalkeeper from Marywood is someone to look at, someone who's only started 3 of their games this year. Yes, this was their 3rd start. I'm curious if Genevieve Morrison is injured because she's typically their goalkeeper and has more starts. So I'm curious to see how she plays, if it's just more of Marywood testing things out before their conference or if there is an injury on the Marywood side.
Well, you gotta imagine that, especially before conference play here, because like you said, Marywood has a lot more games to go before their conference actually starts up, as opposed to this being the final non-conference game for the Lakers. They do have a little bit of an opportunity to, mix with things, maybe throw the rosters in a little bit of a blender if need be, experiment with different keepers, as you said. But still, it does matter, especially for the overall, and Marywood would definitely like to make it a nice, neat 5-1 after a game like this where they come a couple hours up 81. Marywood, of course, in Scranton, down in PA, down in the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area, but having to come up a couple hours. I think it's about 2 to 3 hours from here to Scranton, but still making that in a nice, cozy coach bus is a lot better than just driving it yourself. As Marywood still just trying to keep it within their boots. Number 22, Carly Walters, one of the ones that we were looking out for ourselves, looking to do it. But it's Courtney Key as well, who gets that all the way back down towards the keeper, Jenna Orr.
I'd like to see it a little bit more calm from Oswego. It looks like they're trying to push it forward too quickly when they do not have numbers. And on the other side, you can see Marywood just super calm with it, just keeping possession early on. And that's exactly what they're going to be looking to do for the rest of the game. You have the lead now. If you can control the rest of the game and really make Oswego feel like they're against it for a lot of the game, it is super physically demanding for the side that has to face, is on defense for most of it.
As we approach the 5-minute mark here, the first 5 minutes elapsed in this game. 1-0 already the score. The Marywood Pacers over the Oswego Lakers. And Oswego just trying to get it out of their end. They've been doing a lot of play in their own end so far in this contest. And Marywood would definitely like to take advantage of that fact as it goes off the sideline again. And we have a Laker down on the pitch, able to get up though with speed, thankfully. It's a good thing to see.
Marywood very comfortable in the middle and playing out wide. That's going to be a big key for them, is being able to stretch the field, but also have numbers in the middle so they can press forward.
Ooh, as that one goes towards the flag here. Now, I think it'll be ruled a throw in. But nonetheless, Marywood playing very, very deep in this Oswego end. Throwing it in. Right across that crease, but the Lakers will kick it out high up in the air, though. Oh, and headed forward. She had to, dive over. That was Lauren O'Connell, the graduate from Amherst, just having to dive over to get the header to see if she could just advance it that little bit for Oswego.
Can see that long throw-in. That's something to watch for the rest of the night. That is always dangerous. It's basically a free corner kick if you can get it, whether it's a throw-in or a corner from down there. It's very open, and it's in the box, so you're basically setting it up like you would a corner kick.
Yeah, and speaking of corner kicks, we'll get our first of the game here as they all line up in front of the net of Peyton Crane. The kick is up, and it is headed wide. And out towards, that's number 12, Amber McDermott, trying to kick it up that far sideline. That'll go out just about the Marywood bench.
It's going to be a big thing for Oswego, is defending the corner kicks, especially when the play is against you. When you're facing those corner kicks, getting headers on it, being first to the ball is going to be crucial for keeping this game 1-0.
Lakers still trying to work with it. Lauren O'Connell now over on that far side in the white uniforms. Ooh, the kick just getting blocked there, but I believe that was Britland Higgins, a woman from Fort Worth down in Texas, coming up all the way to the northeast here to play some D3 soccer for Marywood. As it gets kicked out again, I think that one will be ruled off the boot of Luna Catano.
Can still see Oswego just trying to move the ball a little bit too quickly, trying to just get rid of it, run up the field a little bit, and then kick a long ball, which is not typically a style you want when you have a team like Marywood, who's very comfortable with the ball. You want to establish more possession, because then you can start to throw Marywood off their game.
Yeah, and one of the downsides to this Oswego team is I think that Marywood, even just in the start of this game, has shown right here. But yeah, that's number 34, Samantha Diaz, coming in. And just getting it kicked away by Shea O'Rourke, and Amber McDermott will try and run off with it. But it gets taken back by Samantha Diaz as they go closer and closer to the corner. That'll be a throw-in for Marywood. But what I was about to say before, Samantha Diaz showed it, is that I think that Marywood has the speed game so far in this match here. What do you think, Cole?
I would agree. They look more alive. It feels like Oswego's a bit sluggish to come out of the gate. I wonder if the last two defeats, both towards the end of the game, losing it, is kind of just nagging on them a little bit and just causing it to tighten up just a bit and causing mistakes, having you feel sluggish. And Marywood is very comfortable with it right now, having two really nice games before this, feeling really good.
Well, you wonder as well if it's maybe a strategic thing as well. You've got a full 90-minute contest here, and you got to wonder if Oswego is in a little bit of conserve mode right now to sort of conserve that energy to where they can make full good use of it towards the end of this match here as we approach the 10-minute mark. 10 minutes gone here from the Laker turf as they get it back towards the midline, but kicked back once more by Britland Higgins.
You can see it's with the two up top from Oswego just trying to work that ball in. We got 6 in the back with Marywood because they're playing 2 center defensive mids and 4 in the back. So it's kind of just this 6-on-2, which is not numbers in their favor, but it means they have numbers to move the ball towards their midfield and towards their defense, but they haven't really found the groove. I don't know if they're not comfortable yet, if they're still trying to grow into the game, but just trying to settle things down and work the ball a little bit more where they have numbers is going to be a big key of establishing possession and establishing a bit of a hold into this game.
Well, then that raises the question, do you think that they're being a little bit too conservative here to start?
I'm not sure. The conservative part is weird because they are pushing the ball. They're trying to push it forward quickly, but without numbers, it doesn't do much for the team. Like, it's something that they should try and establish. You can be more conservative without pushing the ball forward without numbers. It's a bit of a mix. You're trying to find the balance of having numbers on the wings and then in the middle. So it's kind of this balance that you're trying to figure out. And right now, they're kind of pushing the ball where there aren't numbers. So you could almost even say they could be more conservative with their passes and finding players who are more open, just taking an extra breath and settling into the game.
Jay O'Rourke throwing it in for Oswego. Gets it right back after a header from one of the Pacers as it gets kicked back as well to Eric Yancey. O'Rourke kicking it up to Courtney Key. Gets kicked back towards O'Rourke. He's going to have to body it. But that one unfortunately gets kicked out by herself, by her boot. Marywood will throw it in. Pacers working it along this near sideline. Samantha Diaz as well as it goes out. And Amber McDermott will throw that one right in. Just try to get it into play as fast as she can. Kyla Sustad going the other way is Marywood. Carly Walters setting it long all the way across, but that's Nicolette Joanno coming back the other way. But again, those Marywood D able to get it back towards the midfield here. And Madison Diaz able to put on some jets and get it around some of the Oswego midfielders. It'll be going off the sideline here, so that'll be another Marywood throw-in and a little bit of a chance for Oswego to get into a better position.
Kind of tell from the way this game has started. The formation, the 4-5-1 that Marywood is playing, tends to balance really well against the 4-4-2 because of that extra midfielder. It allows them to establish a bit more control. And what you're seeing from Oswego is they don't have numbers in situations they need them. And Marywood is doing a very good job with the midfield, being able to come forward and backwards as a unit. So they're just able to have more numbers and more in the situations more often.
A quick long ball there, but I believe that was Olivia Davis over towards Jenna Orr. She'll pick it up and decide where to put it in play. She'll choose over towards this near side here. Oh, and a header right off the bounce from number 22, Lauren O'Connell. But still, the Pacers able to just outpace the Lakers here in the midfield. Steal it away once again. Carly Walters working it over towards the far sideline.
The other thing Marywood is seeming to like right now is moving the outside defenseman back. You'll see the left back or the right back release while the other side stays back. It's allowing for extra numbers forward. And because Oswego only has 2 up, they still have the 3v2.
Oh, as they get a header and it goes in right from the corner of the box. And that's 2 for Marywood in the first 15 minutes of this contest.
You can see the frustration starting to build on some of the defenders. They're that one was just not clearing the ball clean. It's that simple thing where it's just a touch that doesn't go your way, a touch that you can't get to on time, and it's causing a lot of issues for Oswego.
And the issues just keep piling up, it seems so far. As Oswego now finding themselves down 2 in just the first 15 minutes, still with a half hour to go before their first break.
Something to note is it's 2 shots, 2 goals. It's that high shooting percentage. They do very well capitalizing on their opportunities.
Oh, but Courtney Key has something to say about that. Trying to get it into the box herself over there on the far side. That'll roll towards the sideline, go out on Marywood. So she'll throw it back in instead, this time for Amber McDermott. McDermott still working with it around, but Marywood is able to get their boots on it. And their midfielders will get it back up towards that midline. Carly Walters facing the other 22 on the pitch, that being Lauren O'Connell. A long ball all the way up towards Shea O'Rourke. Will head it back the other way. And it's Lauren O'Connell this time with the ball as it goes right over towards this near sideline. Kaylee Elliott just able to keep it in, but she sends it into the boots of Mia Mensah-Salma. As that one just
a bit careless from Jenna Orr there. Trying to clear the ball, just pass it out, establish possession, but you have the forward pressing up. And that's the inexperience that we're talking about. Maybe not having every game in there. A sophomore, just a little bit of an error, hits the side of the net, got a little bit fortunate there. But like that's mistakes that you can't have, especially up 2-0. You don't want to give anything back for free.
Especially if you're Marywood with now a 2-goal lead as of just about 2 minutes ago, as we pass the 30-minute mark left in this first half before halftime. But of course, Marywood working it back up that far side line, just using the speed that they have over these Oswego State Lakers.
Can see something Marywood's doing very well is their helping defense. It seems like every time you go one-on-one, Oswego is beating the original person one-on-one, but there's always someone there to step in and take that ball away. So it's this help defense is establishing a lot of control for them because they're just getting the ball right back. Oswego hasn't found the passing rhythm yet, and a lot of it has turned into one-on-ones, which is not great when you have a team with players that feel like, sometimes it feels like the field gets a lot smaller. You have less space to move.
And Bryn Stiles will be the one that gets credited with that goal, that second goal for the Pacers. At 15:34, as says the loudspeaker here at the Laker turf. And Peyton Crane will send that one as far as you can, get it into the boots of Kaylee Elliott now as he gets over that middle line, but Marywood quick to bring it back into the Oswego half of the pitch here, as they are off and running on more offense towards that end line. A big kick and a save made by Peyton Crane. The diving save, able to just get her fingertips on it and push it out wide.
Fantastic save right there. That's another big chance cutting in on your more dominant right foot. And that's a great shot and a great save. Great reaction time from the goalie.
As this one will go into the corner here. Corner kick for the Pacers, courtesy of number 14, Carolyn Walters. Kicked in. Dangerous territory. It bounces right into the waiting arms of the keeper, Crane.
It's a great taken corner kick. Found the head of their own player. That's what you don't want if you're Oswego. But that's just a great taken corner kick. And pretty solid job defending it, not letting any other Marywood touch that ball after the header.
Towards the middle circle, let it go. Intercepted, though, by Kaylee Elliott, but stolen back immediately by the Pacers as they look to pound it on here. Towards the box they come. Just a single defender. Oh, and it goes right into the face, it looked like, as another long shot comes right into the arms of Peyton Crane, and she'll send it the other way for the Lakers.
That's the shot you're trying to force if you're Oswego. More of a distance shot, a lot more comfortable for the goalie to save. That's keeping it away from the forwards and keeping it more towards the center attacking mids is going to be a thing that you're going to want to see more of.
But I will say I've very much noticed the fact that Marywood has now really started to put on the pressure to a little bit of an extreme here in the last couple minutes ever since that second goal.
The passing patterns are really clean. They got 3-on-2s, they got 2-on-1s. They have that extra number, and they're finding that open person super effectively, which is causing a lot of issues for Oswego, and they just can't seem to win the ball back.
Still playing around, and I believe that one went off a Laker, so we'll have another corner kick, what I believe is either the third or fourth already in this contest, and we are barely 20 minutes in.
Yeah, not being able to find much for Oswego has been an issue. 5 shots on goal to 0 now. It is the third corner. Like, Oswego has not had any attack, and it's tiring.
Gets sent in, headed towards. That'll go out, or almost now out of the box, as Oswego just trying to get it as far up as they can. Here comes Kaylee Elliott. Quick pass to Courtney Key. Key coming up. Pass across. Kyla Sustad in the box. Alone. Save made by Jenna Orr. It's still there, and it's cleared by Marywood. Over towards the sideline. It'll go out.
Fantastic save by the keeper there. I would have liked to see seen that ball released to the other forward quicker on Oswego's side. Other than that, that's a great opportunity. You have to put that away to get yourself back into it.
And Oswego now sending it to the defenders, who have come up quite a bit towards that midline. And kicking it out, though, is going to be 26, Eric Yancey. We'll send it down to Nick Stetter, who's down on the sideline. Nick, what do you have for us?
What a night it has been for the Marywood Pacers.
Number 26, Bryn Stiles, 2 goals on the season, on the game right now, and they have not had an answer for her in the back. The Lakers really need to lock down her and win these aerial battles to get back into this game. Thank you. Back up to the top.
Thank you very much, Nick. As we continue on here, 20 minutes elapsed from the Laker turf, 2-0. The score in favor of the Marywood Pacers as it goes out. Ooh, a bit of a collision there between Shea O'Rourke and Carly Walters as they were approaching that sideline. Of course, neither one of them, I don't think, wanting to be the one to send it over the line, but nonetheless, it'll be number 17, Shea O'Rourke, who is the victim.
It's very dangerous there. Lucky there's no card going in from behind. That's a little in the gray water of the refereeing. It kind of seemed like it was unnecessary and from behind. A little fortunate to not get a card there.
Yeah, and we'll have a free kick courtesy of Carolyn Walters here on the near sideline towards the box. Headed away, though, by a Laker defender. Up towards Kyla Sustad, able to get it clear of harm's way.
The counterattacks and the quick moving I want to see from Oswego is more of that coming off of a corner.
Oh, and coming all the way out to try and grab it, and doing so is Peyton Crane, a daring move to come all the way out, challenge the shooter, and able to get it in her mitts.
Great goalkeeping there. Way to be aggressive. You have to attack that one, or else it's a one-on-one, and that goal gets really big the way Marywood has been playing so far.
And that one will go out. That one out on Samantha Diaz. And that one being thrown in now by the Lakers as they need to get some offense going here. And they've had a couple opportunities as of recent, as number 29, Courtney Keene, number 19, Olivia Davis, will go and take a break over there on the Laker bench. And throwing it in, Shea O'Rourke getting the whistle to go. Sends it right up the line off the head of Elizabeth Singranelli as it gets sent back down the line and out. Another throw-in for the Lakers.
2 more common subs from Oswego. This is just trying to change something up, hoping to get some more aggressive, more feisty play from the up top players.
And I dare say that a little bit of feisty play was put on there by Erin McDermott, able to steal it away, but it'll go off, I believe, the sideline. If my craning around the press box here is revealing anything. But nonetheless, Marywood will be the ones to throw it in. courtesy of number 34, Samantha Diaz, as the referees indicating to go over as we will get things underway once again. Kyle Sustad still with it, able to keep it, send it right clear through. Are they able to get a play going to Lauren O'Connell? Still there, just trying to possess it for the Lakers. Amber McDermott, big kick right in towards the keeper, but absorbing that one will be Jenna Orr. She'll send it the other way.
Great initial adjustment from the coach and the subs that came right in. You immediately saw pressure right there. There was no one open for Marywood, nowhere for them to find a player. So then it caused the turnovers. It caused something different that hasn't really happened so far this game. And then you saw the midfielders pushing up too, so they had numbers forward. I would have liked to see that pass go wide instead of into the box, but that's the type of forward you need from Oswego.
Amber McDermott scores!
Wow, what a shot. That's got to be 25 yards out. That is a great finish.
And Amber McDermott, the senior from Rock Tavern, makes it a one-goal game here at the Turf.
Second of the season for Amber McDermott. That's exactly what you want to see there. You saw them press forward, you saw them quick in transition, but you saw them controlled with it. You saw them find the open person, which is what they hadn't done that much earlier in the game.
And this is just the breath of life that the Oswego State Lakers may have needed here halfway through the first half, as that one will be kicked clear of the fence on the far side. We'll have a throw-in for the Pacers, but nonetheless, with 20 minutes now to go in this first half, the Lakers have found twine.
We know how much of a 2-0 lead can fall apart quickly. That's the most commonly blown lead in soccer. So we'll see how Marywood responds to this, see if they can establish something again, or if it'll start to kind of creep into their mind that they're starting to lose a little bit, that they're starting to kind of waver just a little bit, and Oswego now finding momentum. We'll see if they can use that to help push the ball forward and keep their attack going.
And you wonder almost if it was, like I said earlier, a little bit of a strategic thing. They waited for the Pacers to show their hand, to show their aggressiveness, and then once Marywood had it, they now put on aggressiveness of their own to counter it.
You're seeing that comfortability now. You're seeing, I really like what I'm seeing from Amber McDermott. It's super comfortable in the midfield.
Yeah, it's number 26, Erica Yancey, sending that one all the way down to Jenna Orr, as the Lakers now turning it on themselves.
Seeing the impacts from the subs right away, Elizabeth Singranelli is the one that started that whole thing. It's just starting to get a little bit more energetic, a little bit more upbeat, which wasn't in the early game. And a little bit of that starting slow factor is looking like they're starting to shake it off now.
Here's Kyla Sustad, a kick, and just a diving, stumbling save by Jenna Orr, just to keep that one out of her net. She does not want to give up two in a row here.
Actually, after you come to halftime, you say coach gets
see it, you can see them, you can see the life. Just, it's something has clicked and the life is there. And so now that thing that wasn't clicking earlier in the pushing the ball forward quickly is starting to come together as they're finding the open person instead of just kind of hitting it forward, which is causing a little bit more of that energy, the calmness, but still being aggressive and energetic.
Quick free kick here for Erica Yancey, the senior from Fairport. All of our Lakers will spread far. Long kick towards the box, gets headed high, fly ball. Back down into the box though, but cleared away by the Pacers over towards the near sideline. Will it stay? It will not, and that one will be on the Lakers and on number 12, Amber McDermott.
See that aggressiveness? That's something we didn't see at the start. It's starting to flow a little bit for Oswego. A little bit unlucky on that free kick.
Oh, but stolen away here by Kayla Baca. But stolen back by the Pacers once more as it gets sent down to Riley Alston. The Pacers just under so much pressure and stolen away by Kyla Sustad now. Sustad coming towards the goal. She's got it herself. Tried to get it over to Singranelli, but couldn't quite make the connection. It goes off the sideline, and that one will be a Laker throw-in. Sent right in towards the box. Sustad again, right towards the top. A quick kick, tried to curve it, but that one will go wide of the net, and we'll go the other way.
It's a great shot. It's a great turn to try and get on your right foot. It just couldn't quite get around it enough. That touch came a little bit too far with the pressure, but that's a shot you want to see, a shot from your leading goal scorer, someone you are trusting to hit that shot. I like that shot selection.
Sent all the way up and headed across the midfield line. Is getting that one back, Carolyn Walters. Again. Oh, stolen away again by the Lakers. Oh, but that little mistake, that little mistaken pass may give a little bit more momentum over towards the Pacers here as they'll throw it in. Their first throw in what seems to be a while in the Lakers' half here.
It's a miscommunication. You have the right back wanting to keep pushing forward. You have a center mid who's just been everywhere and just trying to settle down a little bit.
A quick trip there on the Lakers, and we'll have a kick here.
Free kick
dangerously close.
Free kick in a dangerous area. You're going to want to see, if you're Marywood, you're wanting to put this on someone's head. You're going to want this probably right-footed in-swinger trying to kind of drop it around the penalty area so you can kind of lay it in and see if you can have someone on top of it. Cause a little chaos.
Sent right in, but sent right towards the gloves of Peyton Crane, and she's able to absorb that one. Not quite off the catch, but off the ground nonetheless. Bounced across, as trying to head that one was Kayla Baca again, as he gets sent towards Lauren O'Connell. And she'll grab that one herself. Back towards Erica Yancey. A long ball back towards the attackers. Ooh, but big collision there. And Marywood will send it back the other way. Chasing after it is Grace Clary, who gets tumbled over.
I don't know about that. That looked a little bit like a foul coming in from behind, extending the elbow. But ref says no foul, so it'll be a Marywood throw-in.
And Marywood will get a couple sub-ins here. Over towards the far side of the pitch as we just under 15 minutes to go in this first half. A one-goal contest as it goes over the end line. And that one will be on the Pacers. So Peyton Crane will send that one down.
You can see the ref there telling the Pacers player to kind of calm it down just a little bit, giving a little extra elbow jab as she's kind of guiding that out for the goal kick. You can see the ref just like, maybe take a breath. I wonder if that's frustration getting to Marywood because they've kind of lost all of the momentum they built up for 20 minutes.
Yeah, because especially with 2 goals in the first 15 minutes of this contest, you think, or you'd start to think anyway, that you have this one in the bag, but Oswego has proven that is very, very much not the case, and especially due to that one right there, Amber McDermott, the one throwing it in and getting it back up towards the Oswego forwards. Ooh, as that one gets redirected right towards the bench, and that'll be Marywood throwing it in.
You can almost see a different style of upbeat from Oswego. The clearing the ball forward isn't right now currently to be an attack. It's to push everyone forward and use it as more of a high press tactic instead of just the kicking the ball forward in attack.
Another Pacer throw in here off that far side line. Sent right in. A little bit of a buddy throw there as it goes back out the other way. Maybe Oswego trying to waste the time of the Pacers here as the clock still winds and winds and winds towards halftime.
You can see numbers are starting to become more favorable from Oswego. I wonder if they picked that up early on, that they weren't establishing numbers well and weren't supporting each other well. And now it kind of seems like they're all there.
Shea O'Rourke now up towards, that's number 7, Kyla Sustad again, putting on the Jets herself. As that one was trying to get back to Shea O'Rourke, but it'll be kicked forward by Marywood. Running back towards it again is Grace Clary. And kicked over towards the side by, that was number 26, Erica Yancey. Just maybe for a little bit of a strategic reason, just trying to get her defenders back in towards the zone.
Could kind of see a bit of a scramble there. They were both trying to kick the ball wide. I would like to see that go back to the keeper. I don't know how much the keeper is trusting worth of clearing the ball, but that's a great one to just lay back to the keeper and have the keeper hit one out to midfield and just reorganize instead of having to scramble and give them a throw-in deep in their own end.
Yeah, and that one redirecting off of Shea O'Rourke, so that one will go off the end line. And another corner kick for these Marywood University Pacers.
Seeing lots of throw-ins. It's balls going wide that Oswego is just trying to be super safe with.
Towards the box, it'll go all the way over for it. Running after is Elizabeth Singranelli. Just trying to put on some D as that one goes out of bounds again.
Instead of risking that turnover, you can kind of see they're just putting the ball out, letting their defense reset, letting them come back. I wonder if it's a little bit conserving energy because they can more easily establish themselves in the defensive zone and get a little bit more breathing in, get a little bit more control of the lungs and the just tiredness.
You almost wonder if Oswego feels a little bit stuck in their own end here. They've been playing in their own end for just about the last 5 minutes, and it's not like they haven't been trying to clear it in some way, shape, or form. It's just a lot of the kicks going towards that far sideline as they do. You wonder if they're just trying to eke out the time, eke out some of the energy, and not let anything build here for Marywood.
This is not bad tactics. If you're just trying to calm yourselves down, they just had a huge burst of energy where they had a lot of players running everywhere. So kind of calming it back down is not the end of the world. You just have to stay disciplined when you're in your own ends so you don't give up a lot of the mistakes they did early on in the game that led to them being down 2-0.
Stolen away. Lauren O'Connell able to get it free. Here come the Lakers. Kaylee Elliott just fighting for it over towards that far sideline. She'll be the one to throw it in. Right back up that sideline. And it'll go out off Marywood. She'll go back over for it and throw it in again. Kaylee Elliott getting it just down that line as she can. Rolling off towards the attackers here, over towards some clear air. Elizabeth Singranelli, though, putting on some speed and getting it into the boots of the Lakers.
Huge win there. It's huge to keep themselves with possession and keep themselves forward.
Singranelli, wins the one-on-one. She's able to just get clear, and that kick will go into the jumping hands of Jenna Orr.
Great fighting there. You almost got that cross exactly where you wanted, and that's pretty much a tap-in goal on the other side if the goalie is unable to come up with that.
Or boots that one high across the midfield line. Grabbing it again, Kaylee Elliott. Ooh, getting knocked down there as it gets over towards Amber McDermott. This time she'll run towards it, and it'll get back into the Lakers' hands, even just momentarily.
I'm good with the no call there. It was kind of more of a ball got caught between the feet, and it was less of the other player knocking her over. So I'm okay with no call there.
Yeah, and you do have to recognize the fact that these referees are very much letting these two teams, play the game, be a little bit rough around the edges, not quite to the point of, fisticuffs or anything of the like, but still letting them play a physical game, letting them, show a little bit of energy, show a little bit of a physicality, and I kind of like that about this contest.
Yeah, no, and neither team is getting overly worked up about it. If it's a team, if it's a SUNY rival, maybe you're a little bit more close because then the tensions get really high. But in a game like this, neither team's overdoing it. They're just being physical. I would prefer you to just let them play. If anything gets worse, then you start calling more fouls more closely. You just don't want to let it get out of hands. Right now, it's let them play.
Oh, and Singranelli just putting on all the jets she can as that one gets kicked out by the Marywood defender that she was buddied up with. But that one gets kicked back. Shea O'Rourke not able to keep that. And it'll go out of bounds. Picking that up is Erica Yancey. Sending that one right in towards number 10, Allison Dmitrievsky. And going back to throw it in is Shea O'Rourke. Up the sideline. Kyla Sustad. Out it'll go on Marywood, so Sustad will throw it in. She's got a couple options. She'll pick Kayla Baca. Baca gives it back to her. Sustad, long kick there, just blocked away by the defender. Over to Singranelli, though. Singranelli still with it. Towards that corner they'll go. Marywood will kick it off the sideline and force it to calm down.
I like to see the defenders on Oswego moving forward a little more. They have 4 in the back. You can almost, with only one attacker from Marywood, you can almost let one or even 2 of them help on both ends to kind of give you that extra player, to give you the numbers. So then you have too many players and the defenders will struggle.
Shea O'Rourke playing with it. Oh, and a big move by Dmitrievsky. She's able to center it. And the Lakers just trying to keep it within their boots, but Marywood's able to steal it away. Here they come over the midfield line. That's number 6, Kylie McDonald. Long over to the far sideline. Carly Walters for the Pacers. Around the defender, but kicking it, just away from her and keeping it in play anyway. It's Grace Clary. Kick to the box. And Clary again, kicking it free. So Marywood having to regroup here and reassess their options as number 4, Kayla Baca, was going for that fairly quickly.
I did not love how much that defense stepped off, giving them so much time, so much space to set up a counterattack. I would like to see, when you have a 3-on-1 in favor of the defensive numbers, I'd like to see 2 step up. Numbers are huge, that 2-on-1 is great. Then you just kind of have 1 floating back there, kind of overseeing any moves on the ends. But I want to see more aggressive play from the defense when it's only 1 forward right there.
Less than 5 minutes left to go in this first half, the first 45 minutes of this contest. As Marywood seems to have found the pendulum swing back into their favor.
It's kind of gotten a little neutral at this point. Marywood is better on the attack, but Oswego has been more scary. They've had some more of the chances where it's threatening. It's a threatening opportunity. So Marywood's super comfortable, but with the Oswego high energy, they have the ability with the way they're playing right now to kind of get that goal. What would kind of be seemingly out of nowhere, but they're possessing the ball well right now.
Back to Shea O'Rourke. O'Rourke working it. Now up to Singranelli. Back towards O'Rourke, having to run for that one, though. Up the sideline it'll go. Dmitrievsky. And the whistle is called. And they will give that one to Marywood.
It's a little bit too much pushing and shoving there. It's something, just keeping it in order. Probably got a little bit too much elbow extended.
Yeah, and just doing that little bit to sort of keep it at bay, keep it not towards an extreme. It's understandable.
Especially right towards the end of the half. The last thing you want is tempers to overheat right as the half is done, because then it's hard to get control in the second half.
Shea O'Rourke. A little bit of a good ball over a couple of heads. But it'll roll back towards Lauren O'Connell. O'Rourke will get it again. Now for Singranelli. Elizabeth Singranelli running in. Almost lost her balance. She's having to give it over to Kyla Sustad. The whistle will be blown before it even reaches that end line.
It'll be an Oswego free kick. She kind of got tripped up from behind. She released the ball, and the ref was playing an advantage, but kind of just called it back because it didn't result in Oswego possession. It was kind of, probably asked the player if they want the foul back, and the player usually would say yes in a dangerous situation like this.
Kyla Sustad with a free kick. The wall before her. 2 minutes to go. Sustad into the hands of Jenna Orr.
You want to see the little bit more floaty, more dropping in the right where the penalty spot is. Maybe a little bit deeper, closer to the 12, like right in between the 6 and the penalty spot. But it kind of got too driven too quickly, and it was kind of just an easy catch for the goaltender there, goalkeeper.
Lakers working it now. The midfield. Amber McDermott again. She'll hand it over towards Erica Yancey. Singranelli now working it as she has the back half of this first half.
You can see Marywood's defense right now being super back. I would like to see the center midfield look back at the center backs and kind of play them a few more balls, just kind of establish that push a little higher. Because they have so many numbers, they have less to defend because Marywood is being so far back.
Nearing about 1 minute left here in the first half between the Lakers and the Pacers. 2-1 the score so far. As a very eventful first half draws towards a close. Marywood will look to maybe get another mark on the board before things are out, but denying that one is Grace Clary. 40 seconds now on the board. Marywood not necessarily in any rush, because why would they be with the lead, even just at 1 goal? Just maybe looking to get one more if they can, as that one gets headed by the Lakers out.
It's kill time right now. You're just trying to get the final attack. See if you can push something with like 10, 15 seconds, but you do not want to counterattack against you. So you're kind of playing the time game right now.
Set towards, coming out to grab that, Peyton Crane. Ooh, realizes how much time she's got, sends that one long. That'll go off the sideline.
That was the chance Marywood wanted. Just couldn't find the feet of one of their players. That's a great opportunity, the throw that bounced over ahead, but didn't really come to anything. It wasn't super dangerous, wasn't super threatening.
So, after the first 45 minutes of play here from the Laker turf, now illuminated under the floodlights, 2 for the Marywood University Pacers, 1 for your Oswego State Lakers. And Cole, that was quite the first half, especially for this being their first bout against each other.
Yes. 3 goals in the first half. That's a pretty exciting first half. There were 11 shots, and 10 of them were on goal. So you have this really good dynamic of making the keepers work for kind of everything on both sides. So we'll see. It is in favor of Marywood, but a lot of it was 5-0 shots and shots on goal in favor of Marywood, and now it's 6-5. So it's very close with 4 shots on goal for Oswego. It's very it's been a tale of 2 halves in the first half type thing, where it's Marywood was very good in the first 20 minutes. Oswego did tamper out towards the last 5-10 minutes, but like the majority of that second part was very much Oswego being the more threatening, more dominant team, and kind of just having that bit more bite. It seemed like Marywood kind of relaxed a little bit too much, maybe got complacent with a 2-0 lead with momentum, but I'm curious to see how both teams address halftime, if they change any formations, if they put any players in different spots to hopefully spark a little bit more energy, because Oswego had the more energetic side as that half went on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, at the end of the first half, 2 for the Marywood Pacers, only 1 for the Oswego State Lakers. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We've still got another 45 minutes of play here. You're watching Lakers women's soccer right here on WTOP 10 Sports. Welcome back, everybody, to WTOP 10 Sports. My name is Rob Finger alongside Cole Fleming, and we're back here at the Laker Turf for the second half between your Oswego State Lakers and the Marywood University Pacers. The score after the first 45 minutes, 2 for the Pacers, only 1 for the Lakers so far, but that one has been the latest one. It was the latest one scored by Amber McDermott. What a goal that was as well. But we've got a man down on the sidelines, down at the bottom of these bleachers here, and that man is Nick Stetter. We'll send it down to him. Nick, what do you have for us?
A beautiful half of soccer we just witnessed. 2-1 to the Marywood Pacers right now. And what I want to talk about, phenomenal night for Bryn Stiles so far. 2 goals on the game right now. And Amber McDermott, phenomenal in this Laker team, moving all over the field. She's been everywhere. And I want to also mention off the bench, Elizabeth Singranelli has been everywhere on that wing this game. She's a major factor. And this game is not in any peril yet for the Lakers or the Pacers. It's a very close game, and it's going to be an amazing second half. Back up to the top.
All right, thank you very much, Nick, and we will look to get this second half underway. And Cole, I mean, what do you think the tempo of this second half is going to be? Is it going to be just as fast as that first half got, do you think?
I'm not exactly sure. I think it's going to be a little bit of both sides trying to figure out adjustments to start. I think it's important for Oswego to not let anything up like they did in the first half, but I think it's going to be both sides figuring out kind of dipping their foot in the water, just like testing out to see what they can get away with in this half. And then I think probably 5, 10, 15 minutes in, it's going to hit, and both sides are going to be super energetic and really fighting. Of course, Marywood's going to be a little bit more put back because they have that goal lead. So as the game goes on, if they keep that lead, they're going to it's going to be like every 5 minutes they come another yard or 2 back. And it comes until the end of the game when if they still have that 2-1 lead, or if they extend the lead, they're just going to be defending everything that they can.
Yeah, and I think the goal for Marywood at this point is, especially, like you said, getting that extra goal, getting that 2-goal lead back into their hands here is going to be one of the more crucial things for them, as we get a brand new goalkeeper here for the Marywood Pacers. We've got Genevieve Morrison, the sophomore goalkeeper, in net for the Pacers, the woman from Northfield in New Jersey. Starting off this second half for the Marywood Pacers, we will get things underway here from the Laker turf. It'll be Brianna Winkler kicking it off for the Lakers to start this second half.
See, Genevieve Morrison has more minutes in the lineup. I wonder if they're in a goalkeeper battle before the conference right now, because it appears that they have this sort of this battle, like, they both have games that they've played in that they didn't start, so it seems like they're kind of testing the waters on which goalie they want to be their main goalie as the season goes on.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, especially with that goalkeeper battle, because you've got 2 sophomore goalkeepers in very much the same stature, very much the same style, so you got to wonder which of them will come out on top, because of course, my brother, a former goaltender himself, not quite in soccer, but in hockey, they used to split games all the time, and one would start, the other would finish, and then it would be vice versa the very next game, things like that. So just to sort of evaluate which goalkeeper can come out on top.
To note, Genevieve Morrison is the goalkeeper who has the better stats. She's played in 2 more games. She's 1 less goal against in almost double the minutes. It's actually almost triple the minutes. So this is, so far, has been the tougher goalie to score on. So keep an eye on that as this half goes on.
And especially, you might think that there's a little bit of strategy that plays into it as well. What with, exhaustion levels and, the level of energy between these 2 teams, and especially for Oswego, maybe it being a little bit less in this half than it was in the first half. And now with an even possibly tougher goalie, you got to think that maybe Marywood wants to lock it down a little bit here.
Yeah, they noticed it kind of slipped away from them at the end of the second half. It's something they're going to want to try and avoid happening. But maybe goalkeeper battle, they kind of test the waters with the first one, see how she's playing. Had a really good half, but just seeing what happens if you put the other goalie in, your more reliable one, just in case something really bad happens, especially after that mistake in the first half that the first goalie had with the kicking the ball into the striker, which almost resulted in a goal.
Absolutely. Is now Oswego just trying to get it up that far sideline, but Marywood just not giving them an inch here. Elizabeth Signorelli will send that one off the sideline right into the Oswego bench. As we will get things back underway, Marywood just looking to get it around those couple Oswego defenders, hoping they will overshoot in some way, shape, or form as we approach now 3 minutes gone in this second half.
Numbers game and defense has been much better in their own defensive half so far for Oswego. You just gotta keep that up. Don't let them have more numbers in the half. Just stay disciplined on the defense, and then when you get the chance to attack, you have to get numbers forward. It's a numbers game right now, and that's just kind of how you gotta play it.
A free kick here for Erica Yancey. She'll look to put some distance on this one as the rest of her team spreads out. And she will put some distance on it. Not quite towards that center line, but it'll be headed all the way back instead into the boots of Grace Clary, who's able to get free and puts a through ball up towards Elizabeth Signorelli, but a little bit too far from her. Lakers look to recover it, and recovering it is Lauren O'Connell, getting that one back to Grace Clary. Clary.
You'd see Elizabeth Signorelli getting that start in the second half. She does not start the game, but she had such a huge impact in that later half of that first half. She doesn't come off. She doesn't need to go back onto the bench for the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, and you just saw, like you said, the impact that she's been able to have, especially offensively, for Oswego starting in about halfway through that first half. But here comes Marywood the other way. Number 14, Carolyn Walters, sending that one across, headed right into the waiting arms of Peyton Crane. But we've got two players down here. And hopefully, a big collision right there. And I believe that's number 26, Erica Yancey, anyway, on the Oswego side. And for Marywood, we'll get our medical professionals out there onto the pitch to help out.
That one always hurts. That head-on-head collision is always the worst. Just kind of both fighting for the ball. They're both watching the ball, and they both try and head it. And let me tell you, that is very painful.
Yeah, and especially the amount of force that you put into a header. Especially if you don't know that another one is coming as well. You're focused, laser focused even on that ball. And things like this can happen. The Lakers will give them some space, regroup over near their bench, but we just hope that the player down over there for the Pacers is going to be okay. And we've stopped the clock, just about 5 minutes gone here in this second half. The score 2-1 still, as it looks like she'll be sitting up here and hopefully able to get off the pitch under her own steam.
It's a tough time for both teams, kind of after an injury, especially for Marywood. That's your teammate getting injured. Now you have to reset and kind of figure things out. I think it will be important for both teams, especially after we've gotten through this first 5 minutes, to use that as take a breath and re-find their rhythms, because Marywood has been the more aggressive team coming out in the second half.
So far, at least, and she will be able to get up and walk off the field, but you can't imagine what sort of pain she may be feeling at this very point. We hope that she won't sustain anything serious, but she'll head over and receive a very, very well-deserved break. So with 5 minutes gone here at the Laker turf, we will get things back underway. And you were mentioning as well, just it being that little time to, regroup, to kind of check your balances, things like that. And you wonder if that'll also have the same sort of effect for Oswego, because you saw after the injury and after number 26, Eric Yancey, was able to get up, that they went all the way over towards the Laker bench. And you wonder if they did put on a little bit of a strategy or have said, yeah, you can go into that extra gear here to sort of counter the Marywood, aggressiveness that has been put on here in the first 5 minutes.
Yes, for sure, especially because they've been against it. It's a good chance for Oswego to say, okay, this is what they're doing. They went right over to their coach, and I'm sure their coach is, this is what they're doing, this is what you want to plan for. And Marywood is probably not going to change much, especially because they had so much pressure to start.
Yeah, and you wonder what Brian McGrain, the head coach of the Oswego State Lakers, has cooked up for their team. I mean, they've had the possession so far, and they're working it up towards the midline. But, of course, when you have somebody like Brittlin Higgins able to steal it away, and that one going off the sideline, and that one thrown in by Nicolette Joanno. Joanno headed out again by Carolyn Walters. She'll come a little bit further up for it.
This left side defensively for Marywood is super sound. Both of them are working super well together to establish possession. It seems to be that Oswego's found more of their groove on the other side of the field, on their left side of the field.
As here come the Lakers once again, but yeah, just being able to get stopped either right at or just beyond that center line. As again, but breaking through, Kyla Sustad. Just almost being able to put a shot on there, but just cleared away by the Marywood defenders.
That is who you want. Your leading goal scorer, 2 game-winning goals this year. That is who you want to have that kind of energy, the one who is the person who's been your rock all season long. That's someone who you want to be digging in there aggressively, someone you want with the ball in those dangerous areas.
Yeah, that one being ruled that it went off the end line, I believe. Either that or just a free kick. I'm not sure, because from what I saw, it did not go over the end line. But nonetheless, they will have keeper Genevieve Morrison being the one to set things in motion.
It's going to be a free kick. Got a little too energetic and aggressive there. Causing the foul deep in Marywood's end. Not really any harm.
As Marywood is able to play it across with their defenders long over towards this midline as well. Just trying to break it on through as it goes off the body of, I believe that was Lauren O'Connell. Off the sideline it'll go.
Charging back,
through-in.
well, not letting Marywood get too much of that momentum forward. Even though they ended up getting the ball deeper down the field, those two running at it could have been super dangerous if they had been able to get through that give and go cleanly.
Ooh, and that one ruled off a deflection off of Oswego, and that one will be the first corner kick of this second half here, coming just about 7 minutes into this second half. And another big opportunity here for the Pacers. Setting it up. And just looking for that insurance. Into the box it'll go. Headed. Scores.
Oh my, that is exactly how you draw it up. That corner right where you want it, in that 12 area, right between the 6 and the penalty spot. Unmarked, unmanned, no one there, and fantastic header to put that away.
And what a header there by Brittlin Higgins, sending it right over the arms of Peyton Crane. And like I said, they were looking for that insurance goal, and now they have gotten it. And now Oswego finds themselves in a hole about double the size that it was before.
Yes, that's That one hurts. Brittlin Higgins has been fantastic all night long at that left back position. She's got the big throw in. She's been impactful. This time in the box for the corner kick. The graduate student able to find the ball well and put that header in the back of the net.
But Oswego putting on the pressure here, just trying to get it kicked out. And that one will go off the end line, so we will have an Oswego State Lakers corner kick here. Maybe they can repeat what Marywood has just put on them.
That is exactly the response you want. You get scored on, make it 3-1. It kind of stings, but you go right at it right after that happens. See if you can get some really good opportunities and really get the momentum right back in your favor. Still plenty of time left to play.
The kick right in. Ooh, redirected, but off of, I believe that was either a defender or the keeper, but nonetheless blocked away, and Marywood will escape unscathed.
It appeared to be that defender on that right post, assuming it's the right back, but who knows? That's great defensive, great awareness to block that, because that was going to make it 3-2.
The kick from Genevieve Morrison long into the center circle. It'll go far over towards this near sideline. Carolyn Walters looking to get it around Joanna. And coming in to defend Grace Clary. Oh, and the tumbling over is Carolyn Walters. Ooh, and she's holding her shin now. And you wonder if, do we have another injury on that play? And hopefully not, especially for the sake of the Marywood Pacers. She's been very effective all night here as she's trying to get up.
There was no card there. That was very aggressive. That was poorly timed. That was kind of just undisciplined. And I'm super surprised Grace Clary did not get a yellow card there.
Yes, that'll be Carolyn Walters still down on the ground here. We'll get our medical professionals out once more, and you can see she's just trying to get back up onto her feet here, but unfortunately failing to do so. So you wonder if there is something serious going on with her shin. As of course that was a very big impact and a very big tumble she took.
The more worrisome thing is the knee. If you, with that tackle like that, if it bends your knee at the hyperextension of the knee, that can really cause issues.
Absolutely, and we hope for the best anyway for her as she gets checked out by our medical staff.
Hopefully just a tweak. Just needs some time to reset.
And resetting will be, well, what both teams do is the Lakers once more have retreated over towards their bench, and you wonder, or retreated, I should say, over towards their net, but just discussing what they feel the need to do, what their strategy is. And you saw, especially after that first injury, that they turned on a lot more of that aggression and of that, playing it hard, playing it fast, things like that. And you wonder if, maybe they need to find an even extra gear out of here as, Carolyn Walters will get up on her feet, but unfortunately will not be able to get off the pitch under her own steam. And we really, really do hope the best for her because, like I said, she was all over this pitch for the Pacers. And you wonder how the Pacers will also cope with her now having to be sidelined for at least a bit.
Yeah, that's 2 injuries now. That hurts. Getting that extra goal to make it 3-1 really comes in handy now.
Especially, because now you've got that little bit of insurance, like I said, and that it truly is insurance due to these different injuries and things like that. Now you have the chance to, keep something on. You can't quite rest on your laurels, but still you have something to at least fall back on a little bit. You can't quite take your foot off the gas yet, but you do have that little bit of comfort, that little extra safety net if things go haywire.
Yeah, you don't want to see that, especially with it not being conference on either side. You hope those injuries are just kind of these minor things that kind of go away after a few days. It's just so when you come to conference play, you don't lose anyone, especially in a kind of, I wouldn't say meaningless, but kind of a game that isn't overly impactful to either of these two seasons.
Well, believe it or not, this is actually one of the further games that they'll be playing all year. I mean, they played back up in Utica. They played SUNY Poly a couple weeks ago, back at the end of August, as it gets headed out again as Oswego will look to clear it. But yeah, Marywood having to go quite a distance up to Oswego here to play, so you don't want something like this to have those long-term effects. As Oswego looking to get it back in their boots, and doing so is Lauren O'Connell, passing it off towards Olivia Davis. Davis for Singranelli. Elizabeth Singranelli now over towards Erica Yancey. Towards the far side they'll go, just try to keep it in as they can, but right into the boots of Marywood. Here they come the other direction.
See, Marywood's adjustments right now is very countering the Oswego's late first half game plan with the moving the ball out wide. Marywood has had extra numbers kind of helping out over there. It's been harder to get the through balls, so the right back, right wingers of Oswego just seem a bit disconnected at the moment.
Yeah, Shea O'Rourke will head that one back out as Marywood will look for take two here. Ooh, Elizabeth Singranelli able to knock off the attacker there as trying to get it through some legs. There's Amber McDermott. She'll look to recover, and she does. She gets clear. Ooh, but not for very long as they're back checking like hard. As here comes Oswego. The other way. Ooh, Olivia Davis able to get it through as well. Fought back to Lauren O'Connell. O'Connell under pressure, though. She'll have to hand it back towards, I believe that is, that'll be number 26 of Erica Yancey. Over towards Singranelli, but that one will roll off that far sideline.
So hard to notice it, but right there when it rolled back to number 22, she could have hit that to the left side where they had Elizabeth Singranelli alone in that left side. Just kind of a missed opportunity there.
They will look to get some opportunities again. A high kick, but that one will be sent right into the waiting arms of Genevieve Morrison, able to make that save with ease. So 32 minutes and change left to go in this second half. We're approaching 2/3 distance here as it rolls over that center line.
Saw there really the first defensive breakdown that Marywood has had all half. It's lots of mistakes, unable to win the ball back, and that's something you like to see if you're Oswego. I don't know if that means the legs are getting a little heavy, or if it's just starting to find their rhythm, being able to win their one-on-ones and finding that open person.
Elizabeth Singranelli, making moves around Carolyn Walters, it looks like here. As sending that one back towards this side is Marywood, but Olivia Davis will pick it up, try to get a through ball in, and picking that one up is Brianna Winkler. Winkler just trying to get some space with it, is not able to manage it. Amber McDermott trying to get her foot on it as well, but it'll roll all the way over towards the sideline, and number 22, Carly Walters, was trying to keep that one in, but unfortunately fails to do so.
It's a great take, but just a great take, but took a bit of a too heavy of a touch in the center back from Marywood, just able to kind of clean it up without too much scare.
Erica Yancey getting it up towards Singranelli, and the both of them tangle here. Samantha Diaz and Elizabeth Singranelli tangling up there in the midfield. But it'll be handed to Marywood on that occasion, and they will get a free kick, so we'll migrate towards the Oswego end here and see how much distance she can put on this one. Long up. And Oswego just trying to get it back into that Marywood half. Amber McDermott with some speed over towards Joanno. Nicolette Joanno now up. And trying to keep that one in was Brianna Winkler, but that one just curved a little bit too far for her boots, and that'll go off the sideline.
See a little bit of stoppage for a sub. There goes Elizabeth Signorelli coming off the field.
Yeah, and coming in to replace her will be Kaylee Elliott, the sophomore from Medford. And coming in for Marywood as well as number 26, Bryn Stiles. So we will get back underway, and Oswego will take it off the throw-in. Here's Amber McDermott looking for some space. Ooh, the quick kick gets redirected. Looking to absorb it there, though, is Lauren O'Connell. It'll roll over towards that far sideline. Shea O'Rourke will look to pick it up, but that one will go off the sideline. O'Rourke, though, the one to throw it in.
Great move by Emery McDermott, Don, on this side. Just kind of tough. I'd like to see her put that out wide. She took it herself, which isn't a bad decision, but the defender had once the defender had committed, it would be nice to see her slip that wide.
Grace Clary getting it clear of that center line, but still trying to make up for the mistake of handing it over as Marywood coming back the other way. Here come the Pacers, one-on-one. Who will win it? Oh, and just trying to redirect it. Dangerous territory as it gets off that end line, and here comes another corner kick for Marywood. They've already been able to capitalize on one so far in this half, and with 29 minutes to go, you got to think this might be dangerous territory once more here, Cole.
Oh, yeah. And you can see almost the opposite this time. The goal scorer of the last corner kick looks to be taking this corner kick, Britlin Higgins.
Britlin Higgins setting herself up for hopeful success in that corner.
Swinger is something to look at here.
Sends it in, headed up by the Lakers, not quite cleared yet. And just trying to get it out. Still in the box. Into the Laker boots, though, and they'll get it clear over towards Kyla Sustad.
Oof, that's a dangerous one. You just kind of can't get it out with the ball kind of moving around. If that falls onto the wrong foot, that's a very dangerous opportunity.
Up the sideline it'll go. Pacers on the attack again. A little through ball there, but unfortunately curves the wrong way, and that'll be out on the Pacers as they'll send it back in again to Amber McDermott. McDermott still trying to work it for the Lakers. That'll go off a shin of a Pacer. Out again with just under 28 minutes to go here in the second half. 3-1, the score in favor of the Marywood Pacers, and the Lakers starting to possibly watch the clock. They've got only a third of this match left, but still, they've got some time to possibly make up the two that they need.
Yes, plenty of time. You just don't want to get overworked yet. The second, you have to be pushing forward and trying to get that goal, but you don't want to leave yourself too defenseless, because the second that gets to 4-1, this game is over.
Oh, and the ruling from the referee, they'll give a free kick there to Marywood after that was number 11, Brianna Winkler, who tried to make contact with the ball there, but just sent one of the players of Marywood, I believe that is number 2, Britlin Higgins, tumbling over onto the turf.
Yep, got a little bit too early there and kind of clipped her legs. That's just a typical foul.
Headed back the other way, though, as Brianna Winkler able to get it over towards Olivia Davis. Davis, Sustad, kick, crossbar! Whoa! Another kick, it goes over!
Wow, that's a great counterattack by Oswego. They had 4-on-4. They deliver it wide. Great shot. Looks like it was tipped by the goalie, which then comes off the crossbar. Right back to another Oswego Laker, and she just can't put it home. Had mostly the open net and just sails it over the bar.
And especially under a very high energy situation and a high pressure situation like you are, when you're in that box and you just get it handed to you like that, you just have to capitalize, especially if you're 2 goals down like this. But here comes Oswego trying to make magic happen again. Here's Amber McDermott, who under pressure though from that looks like Samantha Margolis. Back to her defenders. Lauren O'Connell Now over for Davis. Davis looking to let it go. She'll hand it over to Grace Clary. Ooh, she's able to just get it through Bryn Stiles there, as having to chase after it is Yerke Yancey.
She almost got clawed in the face. She goes holding her face right after that.
Oh, and here they come the other way. Kaylee Elliott looking to make something happen herself. Elliott, gets that through ball right along the ground into the waiting boots of Genevieve Morrison.
It's great hustle right there. She's the one trying to make up for that ball still over the crossbar. That's one in that situation when that comes back off the crossbar. You kind of get a little energetic. You get ready because you see the open net. But if, you take an extra touch, you settle it down, then it becomes the goal gets really big and you can put it where you want it with your feet. Sometimes super difficult, but just a little tricky kind of to be calm in a situation like that, down 2.
Absolutely. With now under 25 minutes left to about halfway through this second half. And Marywood very much trying to stay within it as they send it right into the box, and it just goes wide. The net of Peyton Crane.
Great taken free kick right there. Just couldn't settle it to get it down for a nice shot. But the foul's starting to kind of catch up a little bit with Oswego in favor 9-4, starting to give them a little too many opportunities to establish, especially since you can tell Marywood has been very good with set pieces today, kind of giving away a little bit too much in that terms, along with all of the corners. It's just so many opportunities.
Kick back to the defenders. Samantha Margolis now into the boots of number 15, Katie Baker. As that one goes off the sideline, Marywood will throw this one back in again, and it'll be Brittlin Higgins doing the honors once more.
That big throw, you can see them way down the line.
As that one, gets redirected out on the near side. Lakers throwing this one in instead. As kicking it up is Courtney Key, and a big collision between Courtney Key and Brittlin Higgins there. And they will rule a free kick there for Brittlin Higgins.
See the frustration on Marywood from all the fouls. It seems like Oswego's a little bit frustrated themselves with how this game's going, and they're dropping their shoulders and get a little extra pushy, and it's starting to, Marywood's definitely feeling it with the 2 injuries, and they're starting to get frustrated with the lack of cards, and even though there have been fouls, it hasn't seemed to stop Oswego from being a little bit extra aggressive at some points.
Olivia Davis. Good move around Riley Alston there. Davis now towards it. McDermott. She's able to fight through it, but it gets cleared by Marywood. Courtney Key throwing this one in. Looking for her outlet. And kicking that one up. It's Kyla Sustad. Has a little bit of space here, but it's got to work around the defenders. Did that one go off the end line? I believe it did.
Just out. What? Just great flick over and almost got around it, keeping that in bounds. That would have been a dangerous chance. Great footwork and understanding of your surroundings right there.
Yeah, but something like that is about the easiest way that you can kill any sort of momentum, especially if you're the Oswego State Lakers. And you could just see the frustration in Kyla Sustad's arms and her body language as well. Just having to deal with that. Marywood the other way. Riley Alston. Just trying to find a through ball here. She'll give it to Bryn Stiles. Back now to Alston. Alston under pressure from 2 different Lakers, and it gets kicked just free of her. She's just able to hand it off. This time to Brittlin Higgins. Higgins working it around Sustad there. And a through ball. Gets right in. Can the Lakers clear it? And they can just for now. Kept, though, in range by Marywood. And just kicking it clear is the Lakers in 22 of Lauren O'Connell. What a play. And the Lakers off and running back the other way. Courtney Key chasing after it. Just does not have the speed, though. Marywood will kick it back the other way. Olivia Davis now receiving it.
Great movement, great ball, or great comfortability with the ball on this left side. Raylan Higgins with a fantastic through ball. Just couldn't do anything with it. But that is picture perfect for what you want with a through ball like that.
Sent right in on the keeper. And Peyton Crane will pick that one up herself. Just about 20 minutes left to go in this game here. 3-1 still the score in favor of the Marywood Pacers. As here comes Amber McDermott once more, having to twirl around some of the defenders here. Unfortunately, without the ball, Courtney Key now. Key right into the boots of Riley Bittenbender. And here, and then we've got another whistle here.
Appears an offsides on Marywood. Must be when the ball was released. She was beyond the last defender and then came back to challenge for that ball.
Very interesting, but a big opportunity now for Oswego as they put some big distance on it. It gets headed and keeps going as Kyla Sustad trying to do what she failed to do the other time, and that is kick it out, and that one off the end line, so that one will be an Oswego corner kick.
Great work on that 2 against 1. They kind of picked up that that's probably the most dangerous player on the Oswego side. So you're kind of trying to defend her, and Kayla Sustad with the amazing work, amazing comfortability to get that, to turn that into a corner kick.
Amber McDermott, the kick, headed away, free of the box, but headed back towards it by Lauren O'Connell. O'Connell for Joanna, big high kick. Oh, right in the striking distance, but gets bounced into the arms of Genevieve Morrison, and she's able to save her team from harm.
So tough there, but if you can do the only opportunity for Oswego was to take that out of the air, which is so tough to do.
And Oswego now, it looks like, just stopping it. Oh, and Amber McDermott going down, and well, some people in the crowd calling for a card for something like that, but still, none have been given so far in this game here, as they've been letting things go without major punishment. But
if Oswego hadn't been carded after some of their fouls, that was definitely not going to be a card.
Yeah, absolutely, as it gets blocked away. Oh, and going for that, Olivia Joanno.
That's the type of ball you need on the corner kicks. Drive that ball into the box, but on the free kick like that, you want a little bit more air to kind of a little bit more touch on that ball.
Oh, trying to fight that one out. It's Kyla Sustad, but taking a tumble for her art.
That is great shielding by Brittlin Higgins. Just keeping it. That is a tough battle to win, and it's well done to get that one.
Absolutely. As they throw it back in once more. And a little bit of body blocking there is picking it up as Bryn Stiles, sending it right towards that center circle. Ooh, and dangerous. A little bit of lack of defenders for Oswego, but a long pass down the other way. We'll send it off the sideline. We'll send it down to Nick Stetter, who's down near that sideline. Nick, what do you have for us?
And the name of this game so far has been the press and the counterattacks. Both teams have been doing very well. Marywood's trying to control the rest of this game as time winds down, and it will be a very close finish. Oswego still pressing, trying to find that play, trying to get through the defense, and we're going to see how this game ends up. Back to you at the top.
Thank you very much, Nick. Well, we will get the last about 15 minutes of this game still going here, and like I said earlier, the Lakers may want to start looking at the clock here. It's not like they haven't been putting on some offense of their own, but it's just, the effectiveness of that offense that you worry about here, Cole.
Definitely. You're going to see Marywood drop back a ton now, which they will take some of this pressure, which means Oswego will be having the ball. They'll have the ball more often, but what they do with it is going to be the most important thing in the next 15 minutes. Can they create 2, 3, 4 dangerous opportunities to try and really get at least a goal back to kind of almost get you in the flow, get you in with the momentum to try and tag on that third goal.
Oh, and that one goes out of bounds there.
That's 3 consecutive fouls in very short time by Marywood. I can kind of see they're kind of fouling back now. They're kind of a little bit done with the way Oswego has been physically, and they're not afraid to challenge back.
Oswego kicking it back within range, but Marywood getting it back on their boots. Amber McDermott trying to stop any forward momentum that the Pacers get, but that one will roll off the sidelines, and that one will be ruled a Pacer throw-in.
You can see Oswego it appears they have changed into 3 in the back, 5 in the midfield, and 2 up top. They have moved Erica Yancey from their center back up into the midfield, where she plays more naturally anyway. So we'll see if that extra person in the midfield helps really push them forward in that trying to get that extra 2 goals.
Free kick here for Marywood. Put some distance on it, clears that center line, but Oswego is the recipient of that ball. Oh, and it gets it through. Over now for Olivia Davis. She's having a run for it, though, so it doesn't go out of bounds. She'll send it back towards some more space. And moving it back towards Kyla Sustad. She's got to put the Jets on, and she does. Able to keep it in for now.
See, that's just a little bit too far on that.
Headed away. Oswego looking to keep it within range.
Yeah, that through ball to Kayla Sustad. If that is on her foot, that turns into a dangerous opportunity. You want more chances like that, because if you can get a ball in there, that's great opportunity.
Some open space there for Shea O'Rourke. Now back towards the center. Kicked right in, but into the arms of Genevieve Morrison. Didn't have to do much, but just take a couple steps.
Great work
for
defensively from Marywood there. Just you want to keep those shots at a distance. You don't want to let too much in the box, because that's how those situations get a little dicey. So you kind of see them dropping an extra person back. Like they're almost playing 5 in the back right now, which is it's almost the opposite. Extra defender for Marywood with the extra midfielder from Oswego.
Erica Yancey now for Sustad. Sustad kick just over the bar.
That's the person you want that ball. You want that ball on her foot. You want her to be the one taking the shots. And that seems to be the spot she really likes. So we'll see if they can get her a few more in that area. Because I have a feeling that if you give her too many of those, she'll eventually put one away.
Genevieve Morrison taking her time, just trying to knock some time off of the board anyway. As Morrison sends it right back in. Erica Yancey, though, looking to do something with it. Kyla Sustad as well. Gets headed back instead towards Lauren O'Connell. Towards the far side it'll go. Oswego just putting on whatever they can. Now Kaylee Elliott. Oh, and it just gets redirected off the end line.
Unlucky.
And that one will be on Oswego.
Almost. Looks like a great job by the Marywood defender to jump over that ball. But that's what you want, moving that ball wide and then up the field. That is more in the right direction. We'll see if they can use that effectively. They really need a goal in the next 3, 4, 5 minutes before it becomes too little too late.
As that one gets kicked long, clear. Nicolette Joanno will kick that one instead back to Peyton Crane. Lauren O'Connell across now for Grace Clary. Clary under a little bit of pressure there, but she's able to get it to McDermott. McDermott under pressure gets it stolen away. Here come the Pacers. 2-on-1 in on the goal, sent across.
Oh, big missed opportunity there
by Peyton Crane.
She had slid that back across the goal. They had no one on the left side. It would have been 1-on-1 with the keeper for number 7, Riley Alston on Marywood.
Braitlin Higgins. Now over towards Carly Walters. Oh, and a big redirection there as it bounces off one of the Lakers and goes back out of play. And that one will be Higgins throwing it back in, approaching about 10 minutes left in this contest. Ooh, and sliding down for that one. As that one will go off the sideline again. But yeah, you think at this point now that Marywood has it in Oswego's end, they'll try to play, the clock wasting game.
100%. If you can get stuck down here for 1, 2, maybe 3 minutes, that just kills the Oswego's time. Because they really, again, they need a goal in the next, at worst, they need a goal in the next 5 minutes if they want a chance to tie this game up.
Absolutely. As the ref has a chat with two of the players out there, and unfortunately I can't quite make out the numbers. I believe one of them may be Shea O'Rourke.
It's tough to tell if it's just a tussle match between the two or if it was words said. But obviously the ref finding an issue with the two, one on each side.
Yeah, it was Nicolette Joanno that they were talking to, at least on the Oswego side. It's Courtney Key now over on that far sideline, just trying to make some headway with it. Not wasting any time on that sideline, just decide who you throw it to and throw it as it gets headed back towards the Oswego defenders. Back off a header, now to the Marywood defenders, and Oswego will look to put the pressure on. There's a little through ball there from Riley Alston.
It's exactly what Marywood wants. Right in the corner, in Oswego's defensive end, they'll even be less inclined to try and score another goal than to just time waste. Don't risk another injury. Don't risk doing too much. Just try and waste as much time as you can. 9 minutes left.
9 minutes left, and now with a corner kick, 3-1 still the score in favor of the Oswego, or in favor of the Marywood Pacers, I should say. As now the Pacers once more.
See them tap in that corner.
Yeah. Little tap in, just try and conserve as it goes off the end line again, but this one will be in favor of the Lakers. Will go the other way.
You can see them tap in that corner. That's their third. Different type of corner kick that they've taken with different people, different mix-ups. Again, just kind of testing and seeing what's working. Now, the defender must stand 10 yards away from the corner kick, so you can be unmarked right next to the corner kick, so you can use the two in that scenario.
And that one will go out of the turf here, clearing the fence, but that one will be another corner kick, and you wonder if they do the same play that they did just now, of just that little tiny buddy pass instead of risking it so much.
See those yellow hashes just outside of the field. That is where the defender must stand behind.
As now working it back up the sideline, where they've got some empty air here. As that one goes back instead into the boots of Riley Bittenbender.
Feeling way more defensive than they want to be, Oswego, right now. Getting a little too stuck in. They want to release that ball and then just run all the way forward to get as many numbers forward as possible. We're down to 7 minutes left. It's getting a little bit to that point where still need 2 goals. You need to just push the ball forward, even if it costs you another goal.
Peyton Crane. Ooh, a little kick up there from Nicolette Joanno. And back Erica Yancey. Ooh, getting it tackled over a little bit by Carly Walters. Oh, and the crowd does not like that one. They'll give it to Marywood, as they will kick it off and just keep things going as they can, waste as much time as they can as it goes off the sideline. And
it's a tough one.
Now this home crowd not exactly favoring the referee's decisions.
That's a tough one. It's up to the ref's discretion which one started the contact, because they both kind of got their legs jumbled up. I didn't get a good look of it, but you kind of just pick out. The ref probably has a better angle than I do on who initiated that contact.
Well, to be fair, he is a lot closer than we are, and as well as the same sort of latitude as well. As Oswego coming back the other way. Oh, now down towards Schustad, having to come right out for it is the goaltender, Genevieve Morrison as she kicks that one to the moon and back as it comes up into the stands here.
That is last ditch effort if your goalkeeper has to come out and clear that one. Great aggressiveness, great through ball, but just a little bit too much on it. Unable to have Oswego's attack reach it in time.
Yeah, and you wonder if something like that had come earlier in the game, if Kyla Sustad would have had, enough speed still left in the tank for her to maybe win that foot race. But you never know, especially this late in the game as we approach now 5 minutes remaining, if that sort of thing is even possible or if the Lakers have any such energy.
Yes, its legs are tired, down to right before conference play. You wonder how much they're really going to try and dig in and tie this up. Of course, you never want to lose, and they're going to try, but you almost wonder if they're going to kind of be fine. You just don't want to get anyone injured before SUNY play. The goal differential doesn't matter that much. You would have, if it mattered a ton, you would have seen them push more defenders forward and be more willing to let up that extra goal.
Yeah, but maybe they could have done something like that as Genevieve Morrison playing the mental game of waste the time before she has to pick it up. But again, now it gets put in her hands and she'll boot it the distance. As Oswego now able to keep it in the Marywood half of the pitch here. As Marywood was doing the same to them just earlier in this match. Amber McDermott, though, just trying to get clear, but just does not have the speed to do so and get around the defenders effectively as Britlin Higgins, a pair of headers there, able to get it back towards that center line. As now Marywood
trying to find
anything that line.
To find any life left, but it's kind of just under 4 minutes. It's kind of really tough in this spot. So tag on 2 more goals before it expires.
Lauren O'Connell back down towards Kaylee Elliott. Doesn't quite reach her. Instead, the Pacers will look to take it the other way. Redirected by Lauren O'Connell there over towards this near side. Riley Bittenbender now right into the body of Riley Alston.
To give a lot of credit to Marywood's defense in this last 10 minutes. They haven't laid back too much. Oftentimes you can see teams go too defensive and then they'll start to give up too much momentum. But Marywood has done a very good job of when they get possession to work it forward and keep it out of harm's way.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think there was a little bit of miscommunication between the turf staff of who exactly was going to give Peyton Crane the ball there, and especially when you're running down into crunch time like this, you need every extra second you can get. But nonetheless, Marywood will work it around that far side line. Ooh, but getting it just free. Kaylee Elliott, can she find some extra speed towards Sustad? But that one will go off the sideline. Sustad, the one to look to throw it in. Now to Amber McDermott. Sustad free. Oh, just losing that ball, losing control of it. Kicking it a little bit too far forward. But here she comes again, Amber McDermott. Gets tripped up, and the referees will call that one.
This will be a quick free kick, just trying to get the ball on goal as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and they will get Kyla Sustad to do the honors here. Kicks it just over, but running out to grab it is Genevieve Morrison. Now under 2 minutes remaining.
Couldn't quite get that down. You need that ball deeper. You can kind of tell it was a little rushed. You need that further, more towards the players, because that should not be a shot on goal with that angle.
I was trying to protect it over there. Shea O'Rourke still working over near that Laker bench and falling down for it as he goes off the sideline on the Lakers.
Offsides there.
Oh, wow. I was about to say the flags looked like it was over towards the Lakers' side. But nonetheless, they'll send it back down towards the Marywood end. As again, now Nicolette Joanno, 50 seconds left to go on the board here.
Just trying to tag on one more. Finish off your last game before SUNYAC right. Get the last goal. Trying to just find anything. Maybe carry that momentum into the next game against Oneonta.
Yeah, as we get it down towards Courtney Key. That one will go out again. 25 seconds left on the clock. Here is just somebody running for one of the balls. Just Grace Clarely not giving up. As it'll get over now instead towards Nicolette Joanno. 22 seconds left. Back down towards number 26, Erica Yancey. As again, now Courtney Key, Yancey, 10 seconds. They'll count it down as it goes over towards the flag. Off the sideline it'll go. Yancey will run for it. Will she throw it in before time expires? Yes, but it will not be enough. And after 90 minutes of a game under the lights here from the shores of Lake Ontario, the final score, Marywood will take this one 3-1 over the Oswego State Lakers.
Yeah, that's a tough loss. It's a valiant effort from Oswego. That's a great game by Marywood. They established possession well. They did most of the things they needed to do pretty competently.
Absolutely. Well, you were mentioning it earlier. The SUNYAC play is coming up here, Cole, and we'll send it down to Nick Stetter. He's got a little bit of a preview of our next matchup coming up against Oneonta. Nick, what do you have?
Yeah, a rough loss at home for the SUNY Oswego Lakers. As we look into their next game, they play SUNY Oneonta for the first SUNYAC conference game of the season at Oneonta. Last year, losing 1-0 to them. They want to turn it around this year, and it'll be a great start to the SUNYAC season. Back up to you at the top.
Well, thank you very much, Nick. And, of course, that first SUNYAC game being played down in Oneonta as well. And the next one out here at the Oswego Laker turf will be the next home game against Canton. They will play the Canton Kangaroos on October 1st, and we'll have all the coverage right here on WTOP. Any final thoughts here, Cole, about this one?
Oswego did a very solid job of rebounding after such a slow start, getting scored on 30 seconds in. They shots 12 in favor of Oswego State, 12-11. A lot of that coming in Marywood's just defensive patterns. I thought Marywood had a great job improving their record to 5-1. Going 3-game losing streak is not how you want to start SUNYAC or go into your SUNYAC play, but I thought there were some really good things they can take out of this game and really try and put some pressure on Oneonta, who they have not had great success against in the recent years.
Well, that'll be all to come in the next couple weeks. Of course, like you said, that next match versus Oneonta 10 days away on Saturday the 27th. And then a few days after that, we'll be right back here at the Laker turf as the Oswego State Lakers take on the Canton Kangaroos for their second then SUNYAC matchup. Well, like I said, the final score here from the Laker turf, 3 for the Marywood Pacers, only 1 managed by the Oswego State Lakers. Alongside Cole Fleming, I've been Rob Finger with Nick Stetter down there on the sidelines. Good night, and we wish you adieu here on WTOP 10.
going on?
Dude, we're going at like 11:30.
No, it's 10:30.
What?
Chris, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?